Welcome to week 2 of the Spring Gridiron Report. I'm Brian Kells. Along with me is Todd DeNoyer. What a beautiful weekend of football we had, Todd.
Yeah, I think we set a record this last weekend. I think there was over 160 games that were scheduled. In the past, we had maybe 110, 120 games, but it was over 160 games that were scheduled. And a lot of those games that were scheduled were high-ranking teams, and so it was great to see how accurate the rankings were. And there's some surprises out there this weekend.
Yeah, definitely a lot of great power ranking matchups this weekend. I know there was some down at Jefferson. Over at St. Cloud, where I was at this weekend, we had a matchup of two really good power ranked teams, which we'll touch on a little bit later. But before we get into the power rankings, Todd, let's go ahead and start about the 14U.
Yeah, we're going to mix things up a little bit. Each week we're going to start differently with what level we want to show you the top 5 plays. And so it takes Derek Williams, who goes through every game, every play. Takes him quite a while to get through these. And so he'll put together all of the highlights of the 14U. Last week he did offense and defense, and then he's got to try to pick 5 plays. Now with 50 teams at the 14U level, like we said last week, you've got to really stick out in order to make the top 5.
Yeah, you really got to make some big plays with that many teams and that many games going on. Whew, man, I can't wait to see these plays.
And what we're going to see this week is not only we're going to see the top 5 plays, but we want you to go and vote for that best play. We're going to give out a quick cut t-shirt. I know, really, a quick cut t-shirt? Absolutely. And it's a nice one. It's gold laced and it's got the big Q on the front. And so vote, and then we're going to let you know later in the show who won last week. So go ahead, roll the 14U top 5 plays.
Wow, those are some great 14U plays. And speaking of voting, Todd, can I get a free t-shirt?
They're $75 if you want to purchase one. We just don't give them away. You got to earn it, and so those votes count.
So you're saying 20 years of working for you, I still haven't earned a t-shirt.
Correct.
All right, I see how it is. Well, moving on, I know last weekend you were up in Panama and had a chance to talk with some of the new organizations about what it takes to get things started. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm always interested in finding out, how do you get involved in Sandy's 8-on-8 league? Because we'd love to have more and more teams throughout the state. Quick Cut shoots for about 900 youth teams throughout the state in the fall, and we're just a big fan of 8-on-8 for a number of reasons. I coach football. I know you coach football, and it gives kids the reps that they need to get better each week. And so I wanted to find out from some of the board members up in Panama City, because there's 4 new organizations. I wanted to find out what it took to get started on 8-on-8. And so take a look at what they had to say, and hopefully there's other commissioners and presidents watching today's show so they can think about getting involved with 8-on-8 next year.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Zach Brisky here with the Lynn Haven Raiders. We just started with the spring league this year. We've only done fall before. Getting 2 teams out here was kind of tough, but we managed to get it together, and we just look forward to playing all year long, as it's just good practice. So
As an organization, how many adults are pulling the strings to make this happen?
In the fall we get a lot. In the spring we kind of had to string it together with about a good solid 10 of us, but we're making it work, and the parents are helping out for sure. So.
And what did you do to market this? Did you just go to your kids that you had last year, or were you able
For the
to
most part, we kind of took on Bay County as a whole, as there's only a couple organizations around here. So we took about a month in advance and just spread the word and kind of put together what we could for our first year.
What are your goals for this year?
We're trying to improve every day. That's kind of our motto around here, is improve every day. So.
And having fun.
Having fun, yeah, always.
All right.
Hello, I'm Michael Russ. I'm the football commissioner with the Lynn Haven Raiders. We joined the 8-on-8 Spring League because the Fall League, you get some competition, but it's not the elite. It's most of the guys from around town. We wanted to really push our kids to the limit, so we joined the 8-on-8 for spring because it seems to be all the best teams in our area and all over Florida come to this league, so that's what we come here for.
How many teams are you hoping to have next year?
Next year we're hoping to go 8U, 10U, 12U, and we'd like to put a 14U together because some of our middle school programs around here aren't the best, so we want to give them boys to make sure they're getting good training and everything they need for the high school level.
And what do you say to those people like, well, there's basketball, soccer, lacrosse. What do you say to them?
Football's football, baby. There ain't nothing like it.
All right, and let's say you got a room full of fall programs that you get to talk to. Why would you tell them to get involved in 8-on-8?
You'll leave your fall competition behind because you're going to be on the field 9-10 months out of the year playing against some of the best kids in your state. Your fall competition isn't ready for that. They're only a 2 months of the year program. So now we're 9 months, 10 months out of the year. We're in pads and in a helmet.
Awesome.
We will be ahead.
Thanks.
So I know when I first took over here at University High School 10 years ago, I really wanted to get involved with 8-man. So we got involved by just starting first a varsity and a JV team, which was really, at the time, it was 15U and I think it was 14U. And now obviously they've changed those around a little bit. But the beauty of 8-man is you don't have to bring the gamut of all the different age groups in. If you want to bring one team, two teams, 3, 4, whatever it may be, whatever you need, you can do with 8-man. And we had a great experience with it over the years. And now, we eventually joined forces with Volusia Raiders, and now they have the full gamut of teams from 6U all the way through 14U. But the beauty of this league is you can do it with just one team.
Sounds good. Next on the docket, we're going to take a look at the 12U top 5 plays of the week. And don't forget, go ahead, you can go to the website for spring football, use spring football, and vote. And we're also going to send out an email blast to all the coaches. Please vote.
Yes, go vote. Wow, those 12U highlights were amazing. Some great players there. Todd, one of the really cool things about this league, one of the things I loved as a coach was a chance to go around the state and see different competition. During high school season, a lot of times we're locked into our local teams, and also during the regular season for youth, they kind of play your conference, and that's really the only teams you get to see. With 8-man, we've got to travel down to Tampa. We were traveling up to the Panhandle, down to the Lake Okeechobee area. So a lot of different competition, a lot of really cool things you get to do by traveling and seeing that competition.
And what's neat is that the parents follow along. It's not just the coach throwing the kids in a bus and driving over across the state, but parents follow their kids. And so wherever we go, there's a lot of people there. There's vendors there. There's music there. And it's just a good time and a family atmosphere. We caught up with some of the parents yesterday down in Okeechobee and over at St. Cloud and just asked them what it meant to have their kids playing in 8-on-8. Here's what they had to say.
Hello, my name is Christina Aguinaga. I am supporting my nephews on 10U. I came from Miami, Florida to watch them. It's a great time for spring football. We love spring. It's wonderful, family-oriented, and a great time to play some football.
I'm Thomas Westfall. I'm Brandon Westfall's dad from the Plain City Dolphins. I enjoy being here on Saturdays. Keeps them fresh for the fall season. Great weather, get to hang out with family, chase my son up and down the field. It's a great time.
It's a very good opportunity for him, and I love seeing him showcase his skills and be able to show people what he's about.
My name is Antoinette. My son plays for the Palm Beach Rams out of Palm Beach County. The reason why I got Victor to playing with 6U is because he activated and motivated and he know where that ball going.
All right, and what do you do with that blowhorn? Can you show me?
Oh, you want to know what I do with
I
this
want to
blowhorn?
use the blowhorn.
Oh, okay. We get activated.
Getting outside and everything and more experience to hopefully move forward.
Yo, what's good? My name Cooley. My kid play on 6U Rams. You know, the reason I got involved in football because he always liked to play, you know, as a small baby, he always loved to play football, like toss around the ball and stuff. But y'all check him out, number 21, Rams team.
How you doing? I'm Marvin Newkirk. I'm a high school coach at South Fork High School, and I have two nephews that are that are playing out here at the Hopestown Ravens. You know, one of them 6U, one of them's 12U, and this whole league is a great thing for all the kids because it gives them an opportunity to come out and get reps that they may not get or they may miss and fall due to playing other sports and things like that. And it's another opportunity to learn a different part of the game, and it's a little bit quicker. So definitely shout outs to that 8-on-8 Youth Football League.
Yes, it's great seeing all those parents out there every week cheering on their players, traveling from around the state. Like I said, I love the 8-man travel and getting to see the different parts of the state every weekend. So speaking of different things, now we're moving on to our 11U matchups here, our 11U highlights, I should say. So don't forget, though, you need to log on and vote for your top play for 11U. Remember, you get some really cool drip, a nice T-shirt. Don't forget about that. Wow, those 11Us continue to impress. Some really good highlights there, and that new age division as well. So, but speaking of highlights, so the results are in from last week. Tons of votes, right? I mean, more than probably what we expected for the first week. So check out the results of those highlights. Congratulations to last week's winners. And don't forget to email this address right here to get your t-shirt. Some really cool shirts.
We're going to need what size you need. So email us, tell us what size. We're also going to need an address so we can send it off to you, and we'll get that into the mail as soon as we hear from you.
Yeah, I know I need my double XL. All right, you better have that ready. All right, moving on, guys. We have our 10U
highlights.
Highlights, yes. 10U highlights.
Those are some talented kids at the 10U level. Great to see. Our next segment, we'd like to talk about strategy in the 8-man arena. So you've coached the game both at the 11-man and 8-man.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the differences. How do you navigate the clock with the running clock? And is it all about speed? What do you focus on for 8-man?
So, interesting enough, when I first started 8-man, I expected it to be this throwing game, right? I expected, hey, we're just going to throw the ball around a lot. We're short men. It's going to be more like 7 versus 7 or 7-on-7 football. And that was completely wrong. The field is narrow. It's only a 40-yard wide field versus a 53-yard wide field in high school football. So that makes it tough. So for throwing, you just don't have a lot of space to run patterns across, crossing routes, things like that. So when we ran it, we found that we bring everybody in and we ran more of a run-based offense. But if you're going to run spread, you need a quarterback that can run. I see too often, and even this past weekend, teams trying to run spread, and you've got a quarterback out back there that it's not very good with his feet, and that just makes it easy for the defense because it's just, basically got 3 down linemen blocking now. And all of a sudden you got this quarterback with a guy right in his face immediately. So if you have a quarterback that's got good feet, it is awesome to spread it out and then put that pressure on the defense to have to tackle him in space. I know we used to play Fleming Island back in the day, and we had some great games against them. They had some really good quarterbacks that had some great feet and caused us some problems with their feet that could also throw. So we'd be coming up just about to tackle, and boom, he'd dump it over our heads. But the game has definitely a little bit of a different strategy based on what you're doing there. Defensively, it's always interesting how many people do you keep up in the box versus how many do you drop into coverage. We would always try and base our defense on what that offense is doing, obviously, and we try and outnumber them, basically.
How did you manage the clock? Because it's kept on the field, and so you don't always know exactly where you're at.
So we always have one coach who would have it on their phone, which, ballparkish, to try and keep an idea where we were. Since it is a running clock, a true running clock, you can start on that first whistle, and you should be fairly close. And then you just got to really try and get plays in. It's amazing how much time is wasted in these games by people taking their time, getting the play in slow. And it's not done strategically. It's just done for maybe just not thinking about the time, and then all of a sudden it's, we're almost out of time, we gotta go, and it's really tough to manage like a 2-minute offense in 8-man because you can't stop the clock. So it's tough.
I appreciate you giving us that perspective, and I'm sure there's a lot more we could talk about when it comes to strategy, and especially when you're dealing with the different levels as well.
For sure.
So stay tuned. We'll talk more about this, and we'd like to talk to other coaches as well about their strategy and how they approach the game of 8-on-8. Next on our docket, we're going to take a look at the highlights of the 8U. Now, this garnered the most votes last weekend, so there must be a lot of 8U kids that are going to the website. So congratulations to the 8U. Take a look at the highlights now from this last week, week 2 of the 8U.
Those are some great 8U highlights. And now we're going to move on to the 6U, the bobbleheads that you called them last week. And I tell you, it was fun watching these guys this weekend. I got to see 2 6U games. So check out these 6U highlights, and don't forget to vote for the best one. Those are some great 6U highlights, and now we're getting ready to go into the power rankings portion of the show. And you know, this week we had one game over at where I was at in the St. Cloud. That was a power rankings matchup between the number 1 and number 3 team. It was a great game, a defensive battle, and the number 3 team in St. John's ended up pulling out a 1-point win, 7-6, because they got that extra point. We caught up with the coach of the winning team, and here's what he had to say.
Jarrell Watley.
And
I'm with the St. John's County Crusaders.
And how are you guys feeling about that game?
It was a tough one, good matchup. We fought to the end. The kids fought to the end. And we believe we'll see them again. They're a good club. So we're looking forward to it.
So they were ranked number 1 in our power rankings. You guys think you should be the number 1 team now?
I definitely think we're a contender. We're one of the best teams in the state, I have to say. Being number 1, I don't know, but we're one of the best.
Great to see matchups like that, and then you get to see how close those rankings are. And just a reminder, before we show you the rankings this week, Quick Cut has nothing to do with the rankings, and so you can keep your emails, your text messages, and your phone calls from coming our way, because we have nothing to do with it. We're just the messenger. Yes. And so they do a great job of doing the rankings, and it may not be perfect, and if you're not at the ranking that you think you should be, well, guess what? Go out and prove them wrong, and you've got a little motivation then. And so let's start with the rankings of 6U.
And before we get into that, Todd, real quick, though, I will say it was fun this weekend. I heard several coaches after wins, chirping it, oh, yeah, we showed those rankings wrong and this and that. So that's great stuff, guys. Keep it up. I love hearing that. That shows that you're following along and you're taking pride in what you're doing out there. So let's check out those 6U rankings. That wraps up the show this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Brian Kells.
And I'm Todd DeNoyer.
We'll see you next week.